St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous, Visakhapatnam. Welcome to St. Joseph's open web-based learning platform eLearn for a soulful and enriching eLearn experience. Department of Commerce and Management presents St. Joseph's MOOCs, St. Joseph's massive open online course. In this particular video, we are going to learn about Introduction to Commerce. So this is a part of Fundamentals of Commerce. So in this Fundamentals of Commerce, I am going to teach you first module, Introduction to Commerce. Module 1, Introduction to Commerce, divided into 4 chapters. First one, Concept of Commerce. Second one, Imports and Exports. Third one, Balance of Payments. And the last one, World Trade Organization. Outcomes of this module are: students will be able to understand the meaning and scope of business and commerce and its role in economic and societal development. They also learn about contribution of commerce towards economic and societal development for the overall development of the country. And they will understand the concepts of the imports and exports, their types, their procedure, etc. And the next one, they will learn about the concept of the balance of payments and the methods of compilation of statistics of balance of payments. And then the last one, they will analyze the objectives of the WTO, structure of the WTO, and functions of the WTO in promoting international trade. Module 1 is Introduction to Commerce. Chapter 1 is Concept of Commerce. Let's begin. So in the first chapter, Concept of Commerce, it contains concept of commerce, classification of business activities, meaning and functions of commerce, classification of commerce, role of commerce in economic and societal development. So first we are going to learn about the concept of commerce, concept of business. The word business is extracted from the word busy. Busy means we all know. We are all, every time we will say busy, busy. So what it represents? It represents the state of getting engaged in some sort of activities. We are supposed to have engaged in some sort of activities, whatever the activity it may be. It may be economic activity or non-economic activity. All those that one will comes under the activities. Hence, business is defined as the state of being busy. Always you are supposed to be in busy. For what purpose? For in performing different kinds of the activities. So exclusively in the business, what are all those activities? What type of the activities will comes under business? So these are all the activities. Business is regarded as an activity related to manufacturing. Manufacturing means manufacturing of the goods and services, the end products. We will take the raw material, that we will call it as the input. We will put it into the process, and then finally we will get the output. So that is the manufacturing. And after manufacturing, purchase. So we have to get ready for that, we have to send that finished goods to the storage and get ready for the purchase. And then we have to send those the finished goods to the market and ready for the selling. So that is the sales and distribution of the goods. So not only the manufacturing of the goods, and even services are also will comes under the business. So let us see what are all the major features of the business. So major features of the business comes under, it is an economic activity. Girls, already I told you, the activities are divided into human activities. We'll call it as the human activities are divided into economic activities and non-economic activities. Economic activities means what? Non-economic activities means what? I am going to tell you in the next slide. Okay. So the business is exclusively related to the economic activity, and already I told you, it is the production and distribution of goods and services. First of all, we need to produce, and then we have to distribute the goods and services, and we have to satisfy the customer needs. So whatever the product we are producing, that have to be satisfy the customer needs. According to that, we need to produce the products. So continuity in dealings. So it is not it is an pervasive, because it will be there everywhere, and it is a dynamic, and it will be changing, and it will be deals with lot many dealings will be there in the business. So profit earning is a major motive. So why we are doing the business? So we are doing the business for getting some, earning some profit. So income generation. Okay. Risk and uncertainty will be there. We cannot say that always we will get the profits. So sometimes we may get into the losses also. At that time we have to bear that kind of the risk. And uncertainty also will be there. We cannot say that every time, all the resources and everything will be supported. Sometimes uncertainty will happen, and that also we have to bear in the business. And financing. Without a penny of rupee or penny, we cannot run the business. So finance support is more important in the business, and it is a social responsibility. Already we told satisfying the customer needs. So whenever you are satisfying the customer needs, and that is the social responsibility. Social responsibility means whatever all the customers are having lot many needs. So but what are all the major needs are there, and what is more important for the nation, and that kind of the products are supposed to be produced by the, or that kind of the services are supposed to be rendered by the business. So these are all the certain features of the business. So you can go with this, understanding the business activity based upon the profit and the risk. The production motto is adapt to the market changes. Regular dealings means ensures the operations adhere to the law. Procurement means focus on the acquiring resources or the efficiency. Already I told activities are divided into economic activities and non-economic activities. So what do you mean by economic activities? Economic activities are performed for the purpose of earning. So it is completely related with the some kind of the income generation. So in these economic activities are divided into three types. So what are they? First is business, and next is profession, and the last one is employment. So business means already we discussed. So business is regarded as an activity related with manufacturing, purchase, sale and distribution of goods, and rendering services intended for the making some kind of the profit. And profession. So lot many professions will be there. So what are all the professions? Professions are performed by the people. They are specialized in some kind of the knowledge. For example, doctor is there. Doctor is specialized for healing of the diseases and all. Teacher is there. Teacher or the lecturer is having a teaching skills, and teaching knowledge should be there. So these are all comes under the professions. And lawyer have to give, they have to go with the cases, and they have to solve the cases, and they have to give a proper judgment. That negotiation skills are more important for the lawyer. So that skills and experiences for earning their livelihood. So here also, for what purpose they are giving? They are sharing their knowledge, and they are acquiring the skills and sharing with the other people for income generation only, for their livelihood. And employment. Those who they cannot run the business on their own, those who don't want to be taken any kind of the profession, and they can earn the money through employment also. So it refers to the economic activities in which people work for the others. So it may be an organization, or it may be any profession, whether it may be a manufacturing sector or service sector, whatever it may be. The people work for the others for getting some kind of the remuneration or the money on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. So monthly basis we will call it as a salary, weekly basis we will call it as a wage, weekly or daily basis we will call it as a wages. So these the three activities will come under the economic activities. I think you all understood. So next is non-economic activities. All the human activities performed by the different kinds of the people. The above people also can be involved in the in the non-economic activities also. But the reflect for what purpose they will work for this? For the society of love, sympathy, emotions, and patriotism. In order to share their love, in order to show their sympathy, and in order to express their emotions, and even for the country patriotism also. For example, doctor providing a treatment to his family members, doctor providing a free campaign, teacher providing a free online classes. So lawyer giving free judgment. So all these things will come under the and even your father or the mother they giving for a son or for a daughter, if they are they bought a scooty for you. So that is also will comes under the non-economic activity only. So a businessman gives a car to his daughter, and this is also non-economic activities. In this way we can divide the human activities into economic activities and non-economic activities. And these are all the classification of the business activities. So business activities are classified into two types, industry and commerce. So here comes our commerce. So again industry is divided into primary, secondary and tertiary. Commerce is divided into trade and auxiliaries of trade. Let us see what are all the things will comes under the primary and secondary of classification of the industry first, and then we will go with the commerce classification. So first of all, what do you mean by industry? Industry refers to a place where different business related activities are performed. Business related activities means all these are economic activities, okay, or performed or undertaken like production, conversion and processing, extraction and optimum utilization of the available resources. So all these things were involved in the business activities. So now let us see, all these industries are divided into three kinds. So what are the first one is primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Quaternary sector is also there. So I will tell you. Primary industry. Industry is connected with extraction of the natural resources and reproduction of living species like plants and animals. So we need to. So whatever all the given by the given as a God's gift, and that natural resources are used in the primary sector. Again this primary sector is divided into genetic industry and extractive industry. Okay, genetic industry means whatever the resources we will get from the animals and the birds, and extractive industries are mines and all. And the next one, secondary industry. Secondary industry is basically we will use the materials extracted or produced by the from the primary industries as their input materials. So for example, so from the genetic industry, so we can call it all the agricultural products. All the agricultural products are extracted from the primary industry and they are packed in a very nice manner, and they will sold to the with that they will make any FMCG companies or any snacks or etc will comes under food processing, and everything will comes under the secondary industry. So steel industry is there. For the steel industry, what is the major raw material? Iron is the major raw material. Iron will be extracted and that will be purified in the primary sector, and that iron will be taken as a steel in the steel industry as a raw material, and then that will be converted into different plates and different items. So that is called those are all the examples for the secondary industry. So these again are divided into manufacturing industries and construction industries. Manufacturing industries are again divided into analytical industry, synthetic industry, processing industry and assembly industry. Analytical industry deals with analyzing and segregating the different components of the parts of the basic raw materials into small parts for getting the desired finished goods. Okay. Refinery industries already I told you know, the petroleum, kerosene, etc. So what are the synthetic industries? Synthetic industries are considered with mixing of various component parts and creates or forming new product. We will take the different parts and we will make it into one particular thing. For example, the soaps, paints, cosmetics, etc. So those are the synthetic, those industries will comes under synthetic industry. Processing industries. Processing of raw material through various stages of the production and manufacturing the final products. So for just now I told you know, iron, steel, textile, etc. will comes under the processing industry. And the last one is assembling industry. Assembling means in this particular what they will do is they will assemble various components of the parts produced by in order to get a new final product. For example, the car is there. Car is having different parts. Engine will be there, seats will be there, glasses will be there, and major parts will be there, and all those different parts will be connected, and finally we will get the car. So that is called the assembly industry. And the next one is construction industry. Industry is constructed with the construction activities which require the engineering and architectural skills. So for building of the bridges, warehouses, and all those things will comes under the roads, dams, buildings, and all those things will comes under construction industry. And next, tertiary industry. Tertiary industries are related to the service industries. So next come to the commerce. What do you mean by? The next one is, already I told you, business activities are divided into industry and commerce. So far we discussed about the industry. Now we are going with the commerce. So this is the major crucial part in the fundamentals of the commerce. So what do you mean by commerce? Commerce refers to all those activities performed or undertaken for what purpose? For the purpose of effective distribution of the goods and services. So we have to distribute the goods and services in the market in order to satisfy the needs and wants of the customer. So that major work only we will call it as a commerce. So let us take one definition for the commerce. So commercial occupations deals with buying and selling of goods, the exchange of commodities and distribution of the finished goods only we will call it as a commerce. So commercial occupations. So they have to, for what purpose they have to buying and selling of the goods, exchanging of the commodities and distribution of the finished goods. So functions of the commerce are related to removal of the hindrances of the people, removal of hindrances of the places, and removal of the hindrances of the time. So we have to smooth running of the distribution of the, we have to take the different kinds of the people, and we have to be the places by the transporting the goods from one place to the another place, and in a proper time. So the time lag between the time of the manufacturing and goods for their consumption. So that have to be reduced through the commerce. And let us come to the classification of the commerce. Again, the commerce is divided into trade and aids to trade. What do you mean by trade? All the activities undertaken in the business related to sale, transfer or exchange of goods and services is termed as trade. Trade is an integral part of the business which linked between the producers and the consumers. This definition is the sentence is more important, and this is a trade is a link between the producers and the consumers. Okay, they will bring the seller and the buyer together. Again, the trade is divided into two types: internal trade and external trade. Internal trade means within the country. Okay, external trade means outside the different countries. So for different countries, we will distribute our goods and services. Internal trade, the trading activities made in the geographical boundaries of the country. Again, wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade means goods are purchased in the bulk or the large quantities. Retail trade means very less. So retail means means again they are selling. They will take the goods from the wholesaler. Again they will sell those goods to the consumers and the customers. External trade or the foreign trade. So goods and services are exchanged between business firms and the individuals belonging to the different countries. This is again divided into three parts. Exports means selling of goods to the foreign country. Import means buying of goods from one country from the another country. From another country, if you are buying goods from our country, and that is called the import. And interport means import of goods from one country for the purpose of exporting them to the other country. We will import, but again we will export the other country, and that we will call it as a entreport. So these are the trade dynamics. Internal trade, wholesale trade, retail trade also will be there. External trade means export, import and entreport. So the next one is aids to trade. Aids to trade also we can call it as a auxiliaries to trade. So both are same. Auxiliaries to trade means they will help in process of the trading and exchange of the goods and services between the producer and the consumer. Indirectly we can take all these as a services. So in the business activities we discussed about the territory sector. No? In the territory sector means service sector. So that only we will call it as a aids to. In order to do the trading, what are all the different the services are required, and all those services what only we will call it as a aids to trade. So some of the major important the auxiliaries to trade are banking sector, the transportation. Transportation is main important for the moving of the goods and the services. Banking is more important for the loans and transactions, etc., etc. Insurance is also more important for the, so something, why? Because business is uncertainty, risk will be there. So to protect the, for the protection of our services and for the protection of our business, the insurance is more important. For the storage of our goods and the goods in a one particular place or different places, warehouses are important, storage and distribution of the goods. The communication is more important, always with customer, the relationship management. So communication, through communication only we can reach the customers. So that's why communication is also one of the aids to trade. And advertising. So without giving information to the people or the customers, we can't sell our goods. So advertising is major important for the making of the products. So these are all the major the aids to or auxiliaries to the trade. In how many ways the commerce can be helped for the economic and societal development? It helps in satisfying the human needs and wants. So what are all the human needs and wants, and that will be satisfied by the commerce. And it is also increases the way of living. Standard of living will be increased through the commerce. And it works as a channel between the producer and the consumer. Already it is a major important crucial part in the commerce, and it is a channel between the producer and the consumer. It creates lot many employment opportunities. Why? Because auxiliaries trade, we discussed about that, and in that they will give a lot many major opportunities to the all the humans. Contribution towards the development of the national income and the wealth. So aids to trade. So through this commerce, so they can increase the volume of the production along with the different channels of the distribution. So through this what happens? So the development of the income and GDP rate also will be increased. It helps in expansion of the auxiliaries to trade. So wherever the trade is going on, obviously the transportation, warehouses, communication, advertising, and everything is important. No? So because of that, the commerce, it creates the requirements of the auxiliaries to trade. And industrial growth also might happens. And international trade. Through this international trade also, so we can develop the international trade. And it benefits for the underdeveloped countries. So commerce is not only for the regional, wherever the in order to develop the balanced regional development, so for this commerce is very important. And during an emergencies also, the distribution of the goods and the services are more important, and for that also the commerce plays a major or the crucial role. So these are all the major the key points so far whatever we have learned. You can go with that. And this is one activity. What you have to do is classify the business activities in your locality and make a detailed report with that each business activity. And especially for the transportation sector or the commerce helps in development, and that also you can go with this. And if you have any doubts, you can and comment, or you can tell to me, and we will meet you in the next session. Thank you.